So sorry, everybody. One of those phone calls at the last minute. Happy Wednesday, happy day. 2 days after Valentine's, I hope you were able to enjoy some time with the people that you love and that love you back. Okay, we have an agenda which is mostly announcements, which is fine. Thank you, Jamie, for putting the agenda in the chat so folks can follow along. And I'm not going to read these things because I'm going to ask all y'all who are responsible for these events to share some insights or some stuff. So starting with the announcements at the top, AO Day. Anybody here who could speak to AO Day? It's February 18. Okay. It is an opportunity to learn from each other about teaching and learning. AO is a word that means both teaching and learning, which is pretty much what our enterprise is all about. Anybody last chance? Okay, there's links, right? So you guys can register for Friday. Thanks to all of the faculty and staff who have volunteered to give presentations. We do our best work when we steal from others. So I would encourage you all to listen to your colleagues and what they have to say. On a similar vein, but much broader scope, is Malama Kekahi, which is on March 4th, the first Friday in March, non-instructional day. There's a registration link in the agenda as well. And this is being coordinated by representatives from all the 7 community colleges, and Lee Dooley is our representative, and I'm going to check if Lee is on. I don't see her. Anybody else want to say anything about Excellence in Ed Day? Okay. Let's see. That's going to be in the morning. Now, in the afternoon from 1 o'clock till 3 o'clock, we are going to spend some time together doing some strategic planning. I'm meeting with Kara tomorrow to talk through a little bit about what we might do on that day. So for now, I would really like you to put it in your calendar, especially those of you who have put your name in as being willing to do some thinking and talking and planning and visioning for the college for our next strategic plan. So that's March 4th, that's Friday, in a couple of weeks from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Then we have the Canetta Leadership Award. And this is a fundraising effort that is being initiated and led by the Luna Lilo scholars themselves. The graduates from the program, alumni from the program are coordinating this fundraising effort. And I think Lavashay is here. Lavashay, you want to speak, or Lynn? Both of you are on here. Yeah. Go, Lynn.
Go first, Lynn, or?
For me, I just wanted to say how really touching this is, because the students thought of this themselves. The alumni, those who have completed the program, they had this idea. They have a plan of what the scholarship criteria would be, and they wanted to do this to help and honor the cadets who helped them, and they wanted to help the students who are coming into the program. So we'll have somebody to talk to you about that now, but I just wanted to preface that this Canetta Leadership Award will be for a second-year student. So they finished the Luna Lilo Scholars Program, and they're going into their second year at KCC for any area of study. So all of your departments, I mean, whatever they need to be successful, wherever they're studying, this fund will be able to help support them in that way. So Lavashay, I'll let you take that away.
Thanks, Lynn. Yeah, so that's the coolest part about this is it was student initiated and it's the way for them to honor the Canetas and the 10th year anniversary as well of the Luna de los Scholars program. And I have a student on, Sophia Daniel. She is a peer mentor right now in her second year, and she's a peer mentor. She's tutoring in English. She is an English major, and she is tutoring scholars this year as part of her giving back to the program. And she just wanted to share a little bit about why you might want to contribute to their scholarship fund. I'll hand it over to you, Sophia.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sophia. I'm currently second year at Kapiolani Community College. And as Ms. Lavashe said, I'm currently an English tutor for the Luna de los Scholars program. This program has provided many benefits and skills and opportunities for first-year college students in financial literacy and in other learning and development types of skills and listening and learning. So that has helped a lot of first-year students, and to continue to help second-year students would be very important, as that can continue to keep them motivated and to keep them going on wanting to continue to reach their future goals and career goals. So please, if you can, please contribute to this fund. It's very important for the second year scholars. And thank you.
Thank you, Sophia.
Can I just update? So we opened up this weekend. We are trying to earn $35,000, which is big goal for people still trying to finish up their college careers. But we are already 15% towards our goal in just a few days. So we're at $5,555. We've had 31 donors. And so we're just asking if you can make a small donation, even $10 would be greatly appreciated. And, you know, let your friends and family know that this is a student initiative and they need as much help as they can to get this going. But we appreciate any contribution, and a bunch of more students would have liked to be here, but they're working or in classes. But thank you for this time.
Lavashe, do you have a timeline for this campaign push for this?
30 days. We have 20, well, it was a little more than 30 days. We're on 29 days left. We did a soft launch this weekend. And we're at 15%.
Okay.
And so we have, you can see the scholars, some of them have put the cohort that they're in. And I think we've had at least one donation from every student from every single cohort for the past 10 cohorts.
Oh,
so
nice.
That's really impressive.
Yes.
Yes.
It's so, I don't know, it's compelling that the students figured out that this was a great way to support others that come after them and to support those that launched the whole idea. So it's really great. And to see that all the cohorts are contributing, it's really nice. I'm very impressed by all of this. So please, I think the link is in the chat, and you too can be a contributor to student success in this very real way. Oh, great. We can just sit here and watch the numbers go up as you guys go online and add your money. Maybe not. Okay. Next, we have classes in carts. To remind you, this is another student-initiated effort to promote registration for next fall. It's going to be held March 24, and we need more volunteers. There are rooms that need to be facilitated. And Shannon, are you on so that you can give a little bit, and then we'll talk about the prizes in a second?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm helping with the food pantry, but it's March 24th. We need more volunteers, more counselors, more room mods. right now, we are keeping track of folks that are volunteering because it's like a competition. So we do need more volunteers. We're going to do percentage of the highest percentage of a unit or department. And we're also going to do a raw number count for the highest number in a department or unit.
Right. So please spend a little time, kind of like what the Canada Leadership fundraising is like. Every amount would be helpful. Every shift that you could take would mean a lot. So please do consider volunteering. Tell the folks in your units that they can go there and volunteer. I'm looking at the chat all of a sudden. Never mind. It says Colette Andrews Fujii. Now I get it. You're not Coco at all. Okay.
No, we're in here doing the food pantry and we have it on the projector. So yeah.
All right.
Okay. So Navala is asking, what are volunteers being asked to do? There's a room moderator request, and I had sent the description out of that. And there's also a counselor request to help with academic advising and just helping students select the appropriate classes. And it's not going to be the usual academic advising that we do, counselors, like, 30, 45-minute hour appointments. It's going to be express advising. So just making sure they're taking the correct classes that fit their intended goals. Not really the deep dive that we normally do, but just kind of like an express quick way to drop classes in carts that are appropriate for what they're trying to do.
What does the room moderator have to do?
Hey, sorry. If you need.
Shannon, what does the room moderator have to do? Is it hard?
You just need to press play, and they just need to make sure we're going to have rehearsals, so you can practice sharing video and making sure that the audio is connected appropriately. And it'll be a recorded thing. And we also need the room mods to help put people in breakout rooms. So we could practice that with folks as well.
Okay. Are there other questions about classes in carts? Okay, we're going to transition from one set of announcements to the other because we really can't, I was talking with Joanne, we really can't figure out what the difference is between announcements and campus announcement. But there's an intermission. I don't know if you guys see midweek. I don't know if you, wait, I got to line this up right. You recognize anybody there?
Drew.
Yes, Drew is a cover of the Midweek magazine. This is about the Hawaii Triennial, and he's one of the 3 curators of the exhibit, which starts February 18 to May, no, February when? Wait. February 18 to May 8 at 7 venues, all written about here in the thing. You can also go online and find Hawaii Triennial. Other people from our campus who are in this exhibit, Kapolani Landgraf is at the Hawaii State Art Museum as part of an installation there. And some of you might remember P.E.K. Clark. He's also included in the exhibit, and there's all kinds of really very cool things to go and see at 7 venues. The Bishop Museum, I'm reading, Foster Botanical Gardens, the State Art Museum, Iolani Palace, the Honolulu Museum of Art, the Royal Hawaiian Center, and Hawaii Theater Center. All of them will be having some kind of performance or art during these months. And for $75, you can get an all access pass for these next 4 or 5 months. So congratulations to Drew and to all the artists who are going to be exhibiting there. Okay, next we go to campus announcements. And one is the giveaway shop. And Roman, are you here?
Yes.
Okay, tell us about what you need for Friday and what's going to happen that day.
Okay, y'all. So, oh, did I put the wrong date? So giveaway shop is on Thursday. So it's tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on the Great Lawn. And so it's an event where students can shop for gently used or new items for free. So we've just been sanitizing and folding and putting things together. If anyone can help, we will need help at 9 a.m. in the morning, mainly for the setup part, because we do have a lot to move and we just need to clean up all the tables under the tent as well. And if you can help for anything else, then that's fine. Thank you all to those who donated items or donated your time or boxes. It's all been really helpful. And we got a lot of good stuff. So we're really excited to see how it turns out. So thank you all. If anyone has any time today, you are welcome to help as well. We are sanitizing.
That sounds like such fun. Thank you, Nava, for letting people know who Drew is. I forgot to say. Okay, let's see. Roman, it looks like you're on again, March 4th, after we have our Excellence in Ed in the morning and after we do strategic planning in the afternoon at 4 o'clock, time for fun. Tell us what happens.
Yes, so BOSA, the Board of Student Activities, is doing KCC's Got Talent. And so we've been asking people to send in submissions for what they're doing. It will be Friday, March 4th at 4 p.m. in the Ohia cafeteria. Staff and faculty are invited to submit a talent to participate as well. So far, Joe Yoshida, Mark Kunemune, and Paula Kiko will also be performing something, as well as Dean John Richards and his group. So get excited for that. You all are welcome to come as well. We'll have a separate RSVP for those who want to attend.
Oh, going to be live and in person.
Yes, live and in
Wow.
person.
Yay. It'll be nice to see people in 3 dimensions.
Thank you.
Thank you. Questions for Roman about either of those 2 events? Libations? Adult beverages?
Unfortunately not. If anyone wants to sponsor, if we can.
Is there a prize for the talent show?
For the talent show, we are thinking of several prizes. We're not sure yet. So my boss is still figuring that out.
Besides just glory of being the winner? Who's judging? That's what I want to know.
It'll most likely be BOSA.
You don't want to identify the individual so that we might slip them a gift card or something? No, right?
It's our whole board.
They'll be behind a screen. Nobody will see them. No, that's good. I'll be there. Okay. Then we have focus groups. And these focus groups are part of our strategic planning process. And there's some details in the agenda. We're looking for folks to be participants of focus groups for 2 hours in the next couple of weeks. All majors, all backgrounds, all experiences are encouraged. All conversations will be confidential. And students can back out anytime if they're in a conversation that they don't feel comfortable with for whatever reason. And the information will be used to frame our directions for our strategic plan. If folks are accepted, students are accepted to participate, they will receive a gift card, $25 gift card to Target, and they will be entered into a raffle. And I know Kara's here. Anything else you want to add, Kara?
I think that sounds great. I think that's everything. We do have enough, but please, there's some time slots. I don't know which ones are a little low, so it will always help us or for other opportunities going forward. And we're looking really grateful for our graduates, our undergraduate researchers and all the work they're doing to make it happen.
Good, thank you. And last of the campus announcements is about Edquity. And this is an application, an app that helps to bring resources to students. So I think either Noya or Angela.
I'm here, I can talk. So Edquity is the platform that we use to award emergency aid to our students. We have approximately 1.3 million left in the money that was given to us to give to students. by the end of this semester. It just opened up on Tuesday. So the campaign runs week to week from a Tuesday to a Sunday. So students already got the email from us. They have been referred to our website for more information, but please encourage our students to apply. If they are running into issues with equity, either refer them to the website or you can refer them to the CAP VCSA office for more of their concerns. So this is going to mark the first campaign this week. It will continue on a weekly basis until the money runs out or until we get to an amount where we feel comfortable that we could probably spend down pretty easily. This is available for both for the credit students as well as the non-credit students. So non-credit students also have an opportunity for apply. The best way to encourage our students to apply is tell them to check their email. They'll probably get an email from the CAP VCSA office. For the non-credit students, I don't know if Carol or Susan is on or Alyssa can say where the email is coming from, but that's where these emails are going to be. That'll give you the link to apply for the money. I don't know how much students will get yet until we receive this first batch of students, looking at the number of students that apply. From there, we probably could make a better determination on how much students would get. I can comfortably say that at minimum, students would get $500. That's probably the minimum that we'll give away to make sure it has some kind of impact on whatever emergencies they're facing outside of the college. And again, this money does not go toward any balance that they owe the school. This goes directly to the students in terms of a check, or I think what the college prefer is a student to sign up for e-deposits, electronic deposit, so that they can get the money fairly quickly. But I'll probably be talking about this as we go through, as long as we have money. Like I said, please refer your students because it's really important that they use this money, and a lot of them don't realize, or maybe they're not checking their emails or think this is some kind of scam or spam. I am trying my best to make it seem spamless, but I think your guys' words in terms of interacting with students goes a long way to getting students to apply.
Questions for Noelle about this emergency aid and equity?
Can I just add to that too, that please encourage the students to apply, because some of the students are saying, you know, I don't have that much need. And some of the questions are really hard on that application. I mean, not hard in the sense of like, it's really tough, but it's just, have you been houseless? Do you lack transportation? Did your computer break even? So things like that, come on, we can help you out that way. So please have the students apply. Tell all your friends who's on, Jenny and who else was here. Please tell your friends to apply. Thank you.
Okay, and that brings us to the end of the announcements. Substantive on the agenda, 2 items. The first is strategic planning, and Kara's here to tell us what's happening and give us an update. Go, Kara.
Oh, great. Thank you so much. So as you know, I'm really trying hard to make a big, sloppy strategic plan where we all have input. I want it to be messy in the beginning so that it's nice and clean and simple when it's all done. So what that means is I want everybody's voice to come through, and I know that's a tall order. And one way I'm trying to do that is through the Bigger Ideas Board, and I'll walk you through how to use it today again, because some of you may have forgotten when we did big ideas. And my dream would be for us to have maybe, when I look in my email and I get the notifications, to see that there's 50 new responses, because I see there's 77 of us on the call. So not one person to do all 50, but for us to kind of all pitch in where we can and share our voice with what's appropriate around the mission statement. That's our first task for this semester, is really, let's get the mission done so that it can help inform where we're going with our goals. And I'm going to share my screen now, and there's just a few dates. I think Chancellor really reiterated this March 4th date is going to be about mission building, and the more, I think that's what we're discussing tomorrow morning. But really, my dream would be for us to all have this input into a mission building, come out with a draft mission at the end, bring it to the campus for a vote, and then give it to the AGOs to take over and finalize, approve, and give suggestions. And I know earlier this week, I think it was this week, everything blurs together during COVID. But I think when I was talking to the folks at Ahakalalani. I think Annie brought up a good question, like, oh, so if the AGOs have feedback on the mission, are you giving it back out to the campus? And I said yes, but I think we're not. I think we'll just have everybody contribute to building the mission, get the draft, have one vote, and then give it to the AGOs for finalization. That's kind of the whole plan for this semester for the mission. And April 8th, what I would love to see on April 8th is gathering what we have from survey feedback, what we have from convocation conversations, any focus groups that take place with our employees, our students, and the outside community, to see what that looks like, and then look for common themes and start prioritizing where we want to go in forward for the next 6 years. Okay, so I'm going to, I hope Dorothy wasn't too distracting here on the screen. Okay, so for the bigger ideas board, just to walk you through, and I got some great feedback from the folks. So I'm working with a team of researchers on a campus from Spark who gave some great ideas. And one of our ideas that emerged, oh, here it is on top. See, what's so cool about Considerate too, this tool, is that as you add more and more feedback, whatever is most popular, it can start rising to the top. But in this case, or it looks like I just added it today. What was I going to say? We decided to maybe, asking these big, broad questions, maybe this is a little challenging in this format. So we also now include this analysis of the mission here, where I've broken it down into the different parts, and you can see, let us know how much you agree or disagree within each of these areas. So you can log in the top right corner. And once again, if you're like, I don't want to share my personal information, use a pseudonym. That's completely fine. You don't have to, you can be Beyonce for the day if you'd like, whatever you'd like, you can do that. And then kind of think through this, and then maybe, I don't know if Jenny's on, but I know we had, and Yoshine too, both had really great, we had a conversation around this open access piece and what that means. So if either one want to jump in with what we talked about, and then I could add a comment, you can give your opinion. And of course it's a pro here because, I'm on this side, but maybe it would be something like, instead of open access, maybe accessibility, and just a question mark. And then at least we're capturing these moments together. And then show results. Okay. And then you can see we have some already filled out. Like, who is it for? So our community, Hawaii. And we have one agreement here. And then I added this idea of generations because that really came through in some of the convocation conversations. So really, this is the tool to provide your input, to provide your voice and contribute to our mission statement. I'd like to continue doing this too and have this, perhaps we'll make an appearance with strategic planning, but really the goal is just for all of us to feel like we're participating in this process to really inform where we're going in the future. And what I'll do now is I'll share in the chat, I'll share a link to the Google document where I ask how you want to receive information from me in areas where you can help me out in doing this whole process. And I did, Raphael does, or CELT has everything for the website, so that should be up and coming any day now. Any questions about the bigger ideas board? It's a lot. I'll put oh my goodness, did I not even share the link? I was so sad no one was adding anything to it. And didn't even share the link. So now you have an opportunity to add some feedback. And I think that's a great idea. Thank you, Annie. I think it was Annie's idea. Thank you, to kind of break down that mission and see the parts. I think that's a nice, easy way for all of us to dip our toes into doing this kind of analysis in this participatory way.
Thanks, Carol.
Thank
Are there
you.
questions for Kara? Carol?
Yeah, Kara, you mentioned that at some point you're going to be hopefully pulling in feedback from the community, external community. So I was wondering, how are you going to get those participants aware of this opportunity to provide input? And then secondly, will they be doing that through solely through focus groups, or will they also go on to bigger ideas?
Okay, that's a great question. So this is two parts. So, and we can get a temperature check here. So I was thinking that I would like to do panels, I was thinking, with the outside community, and I was going to reach out to the folks who volunteered to do that, and some of the deans who volunteered to do that in particular. So I'll be in touch about maybe helping me gather the community members that you would like to see. And then also I was thinking I would be the one to take notes at that event and maybe have someone else facilitate. And then I thought what I was thinking would be a survey, and I wanted to give the same survey to everybody just to see the difference in the perspectives. So how does an administrator kind of see what's going on, or what's their viewpoint compared to a student perhaps, or a community member? And I thought that would be kind of an interesting way to capture that. And I'm actually in a survey design class this semester, with that being my focus. But I don't know, what do you all think? Any kind of opinions about allowing the larger community participate in the bigger ideas board?
I think if we were going to have that kind of input, and I don't see that there's an issue with that. It's always nice to see what our community, and we have various stakeholders. We have employers, we have neighbors, we have even our transfer institutions who might have something to say about where this college is going. And I think if we did it by the considerate, I'm not sure how many people would be able to figure that out on their own. But I would say that I would want it separate, so that they wouldn't, especially if you're going to be anonymous. I'd want to know that these are the community people, these are our employers, or other kinds of things, just so we could keep it straight. Because as you say, there will be different perspectives.
And it's a little bit more controlled if I do that in a survey format, right? So then we just have a simple check to see which area you belong to. But really the whole goal too with this messy process is to make sure that people can provide anonymized feedback, as well as participate in those kind of talk story sessions. And we all know that there's something magical that happens with the interactions of people talking to one another together, rather than a one-on-one interview, for example, or a survey.
Thanks, Carol. Other questions from folks? Okay, we'll be getting regular updates from Kara as the process moves along, and thank you all for being willing to take part in what is, a really important process for us. Okay, there's only one more item on the agenda, and as I was looking at it, I realized that grammatically speaking, this could be taken two different ways. Is it the permanent telework that we have questions about? Or is it the permanent questions that we have about telework, which sometimes seems to be more the case. So the telework policy is a policy that is going forward absent anything related to COVID. So the university has opened up the options for employees to work from a remote site, the same remote site. You got to say where you're going to be. And we are now in the process of accepting applications for those employees who wish to and are able to work remotely. So I want to thank all the supervisors who are working with their employees to figure out how best to staff the office, make it make it open so that in-person services can be delivered, and allowing folks to have the option as appropriate. And again, you know, we're building the car as we drive down the highway, so there's going to be some fits and starts. I did put out a memo with my general expectations and general things to consider as we implement this policy for the very first time. And there will be, I guarantee you, some bumps in the road. I just don't know where they're going to be, so we go slow and take things cautiously. Open for questions. Anything that's still confusing, anything that you want clarity on, because I know people are talking to their colleagues on other campuses and it might be different on other campuses. So make sure you have clarity. So questions?
Hi, Louise. At an earlier meeting, you stated or mentioned that 100% telework requests will probably not be approved. Is that still true?
In general, that's true. Yes.
Louise,
Yes, Carol.
has Vice President Nicole finished her set of guidelines?
Okay, say that again, Carol, I'm sorry.
Has Vice President Nicole finished her crafting of her guidelines?
No,
Okay, thank you.
still waiting. I don't expect her guidelines will be very different from what ours are. I don't think so, but we're still expecting them momentarily. Other questions? Things that trouble you? Well, okay then.
Oh, sorry, sorry about the bigger idea. So we did get 2 more people to sign. So not 50, but we'll get there. And I would like people to add their feedback by March 2nd, so that I have some days to go through it. And it's on there. And I'm sorry if you were asking about questions about the telework policy and I just interrupted.
That's okay. No harm. All right, I don't see any questions in the chat about telework, and I didn't hear anybody unmute about telework. So here's your opportunity. Anything else you want to say to the 76 people who are on this Zoom? Oh, thanks, Denise. Campus cleanup day. Well, not cleanup, but cleaning up the gardens. Thank you. It's on Saturday, March 5th. After we've had lots of fun at the talent contest, then we can come back early the next day and do some digging in the garden. Can we have an update on the KCC budget and operations? Sounds like a question for VCAS.
What was the question?
The question is, can we get an update on the KCC budget and operations?
Well, that's
Not
a big
sure about-
update. Where you want me to start?
Well,
What specifically, Lisa?
So we had a meeting yesterday, and I guess are we in a hiring freeze? Is it still critical to fill? I mean, the bottom line, I mean, you took us through this when we were in the red pretty strategically to tell us. So here we are, 3 years later, COVID, freezing, just wondering how to make sense of everything. So we sort of strategically know how to move forward and what operations are. And you obviously don't have to answer it right now. I just put you on the spot, but I think it would be helpful for leadership to know where we're going and what resources we have to look forward to getting back or still being restricted. So that's it.
Okay.
Good news or bad news, I guess.
I mean, it's a pretty huge question, but I mean, specifically with regard you just asked with the positions and personnel, we will continue to be under the hiring freeze for the foreseeable future. And it's not just us, it's actually still the entire state of Hawaii. And after the state of Hawaii, other departments may move forward. It's really going to be up to the president to continue the hiring freeze. So we will still have to ask, request, fill out the critical to fill form that folks who are filling positions have been doing. And then, we'll continue to submit to the president's exception portal. And the president is the only one who actually can approve the hiring of anyone now. With regard to, whether we're going to continue to be restricted or not, right now we're in an okay spot. I'm not going to say we're in a great spot. I'm not going to say we're in a bad spot. We are in an okay spot when it comes to our tuition and fees balances, our general fund allocations, appropriations and allocations from the legislature and the system. However, the pandemic is largely going to dictate what our future general fund appropriations are going to be. At some point, right, this gravy train from the feds is coming to an end. And that has been a very, very beneficial for us and for all campuses to help us weather the COVID storm. But at some point, we will, I think we have to be prepared for general fund cutbacks. I mean, I don't know, but the writing is on the wall. At some point, the loss of tourism over the last 2.5 years is going to hurt us. And we're not going to have the federal money to cushion that blow. So I can fill you guys in as we will know more. There's a critical, couple weeks ago, I covered how to track bills in the legislature. So right now, the biggest piece of legislation for most of us is going to be the state budget bill. And we'll see what happens once the House has their first crack at it and sends it over to the Senate. The Senate then takes the House's version, puts their touches on it, and then they meet in budget conference at the end of the legislative session. Those are all three very big dates, not necessarily dates, but time frames. So big milestones. One is the House passing the budget out. The second is the Senate then getting their crack at it. And the final one is the final legislative budget or conference draft one. That is then basically our appropriation. And so as these come up, I will fill you guys in as best I can. But the best we can do right now is to continue on prudently. We're not in by any stretch of imagination, we're not in cutback mode. And I don't want people to feel like, we have to cut. We can't spend. We certainly can't spend, but we shouldn't feel like we have to cut. And I think, we're in a pretty good spot. I'm sorry, I wasn't going to use that word. We're in an okay spot right now. We're in an okay spot right now. And I can do a little bit more detailed briefing on that later on, Lisa. But in a nutshell, I don't want people to leave this meeting thinking, oh my God, the sky's falling. It's not. We're able to hold up the sky for now.
Thank you, Brian.
Annie,
Oh, I just had a question for Brian about that, because so you're saying we're not in cutback mode anymore, but I was just wondering, since the last few budget cycles, we did receive kind of significant cuts. So are you saying that we can get some of those cuts won't continue, or that we won't get further cuts on the cuts we've already had?
That I do not, as of right now, given our financial picture, I do not see us implementing further cuts. But in terms of restorations of what's been cut, we're not at that point right now.
maybe we can do an update for the next CAC meeting about first 2 quarters, halfway. All right, 146, last chance for questions. And sorry, Lisa, I didn't see that your question was on the agenda, but I'm glad you posted it.
Louise,
Yes,
I just kind of wanted to share, because I'm in that Achieving the Dream 2022 conference. I think it might have been the plenary at 6 in the morning today, or it might have been in the afternoon session. But they're saying that, you know, there's over 1,000 community colleges, and everyone has vacancies that aren't being filled. I'm trying to think of, has the presidents or chancellors of community colleges figured out, because it's a really good time, because everything's in chaos. So as we come out of chaos, like, is there a higher plan that community colleges in general have? I don't know if you're on one of those, like, only presidents meet and nobody else kind of deal.
I am not on any of those boards, but the organization that looks out for us mostly is AACC, the American Association of Community Colleges, or the Association of American, I forget which way it is, but AACC is our lobbyists. So if you want to know where the focus is, then that's the best place to look, because they do have people in Washington, DC pushing for community colleges, and they are our best representatives.
Okay, thank you.
But you're right about vacancies. Today at the chancellor's meeting, one of the chancellors said, you know, on my campus, I have 100 vacancies, 100. That's a lot of people. Yeah. All right. We done? Looks like we're done. All right, everybody, you have the gift of time, 11 minutes you didn't know you were going to be able to use to go to the bathroom and do other important things for yourself. Make sure you put the breathing mask on you before you help others. Make sure you're taking care of yourself, and not that kind mask, Kazama. The breathing kind, not the, yes, but do that too. We're still masking until I think it's March 25th or something I heard from somewhere. But anyway, it's an oxygen mask. And take care of yourself, you guys. Next meeting is in 2 weeks, and it will be after our Excellence in Ed Day, so please make sure. And also make sure that you pay attention to AO Day on February 18th and all those other things that we're able to do on this campus, and all those things in the agenda. Okay, you guys, bye, say bye. Unmute, say bye.
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 Happy July 4th.
Bye.